Yo, what's up, party people? My name is Samaj Marsh, and I'm actually the founder of BlueDeathValley.com. And as you can see, we've got a new website we've been working on behind the scenes for a minute. We're excited to present it to you today. A lot of new features, new graphics. We're just ready to hit the ground running. One of the new things we're going to try this year is to actually launch a new podcast, YouTube show. And to do that, I kind of called on the help of two A&T VIPs. First off, legendary A&T wide receiver and Greensboro native, Doug Brown. What's up, Doug?
What's up? What's up? Can I get an Aggie pride?
Aggie pride.
What's up, guys? Hey, man. Thriller, CT, man, I thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be on with you guys, man, talking football.
Right. And I would be remiss if I didn't also introduce my longtime partner, my big bro. He's been with the site since day one. It's none other than the iconic A&T insider, Craig Turner. What's up, Craig?
Hey, what's up, guys? Aggie Pride. Good to see everybody again. It's been a long time.
Man, it's been too long. This has been a minute without football. We've all been going through withdrawals, but that dark day is over now. We're in the middle of camp. And to do that, kind of coincide with that, we want to relaunch the site, and we're excited about it. We got a lot of cool new features, some new graphics. We've got an old classic interview section with some throwback interviews of some of my favorite interviews from the past, including legendary A&T coach Bill Hayes, my man Broadway. And actually, funny story, I've actually interviewed every A&T football coach from Bill Hayes up until now. And that includes George Small, certain coach that we probably shouldn't name right now. Everyone kind of might get irate, and all the way up to Coach Washington. So that's cool. You can check that out. We also got a revamped, refurbished photo gallery that's powered by my man, the also legendary Dr. Michael Simmons. And we actually gonna try to get him on the show from time to time so he can come by and just talk about his latest photos and what he's seeing around campus. He's kind of like the eyes and ears of the A&T fan base because he's always around. And but most importantly, what I'm excited about today is we've got some fresh new content finally on the homepage. It's been a minute since we updated the site, but my man Craig Turner came through in the clutch, and he brought us not only one, but I think two new gems he's dropped on the site this week. One of them is his season preview, which he focuses on the defensive secondary. So, Craig, talk a little bit about your preview article.
Okay, thanks. This has been a labor of love for them for, like I said, for a couple of decades, and it's going to break down into a 5-part series this year, starting out this past weekend with the secondary. And then we'll go into offensive backfield and special teams, offensive line, receivers and tight ends, and then the front seven. So you'll be seeing those articles roll out over the next 2 to 2.5 weeks or so. Try to space them out so the fans have a chance to digest it and discuss it, and rather than doing it all in one big lump sum. And I think you'll find it interesting. A lot of off-season moves have been made, a lot of new additions on his team, as well as a lot of guys coming back. So we'll take a comparative overview of the strengths and weaknesses of this football team once we conclude with the personnel reviews, and we'll take it from there.
Gotcha. But as far as that secondary go, I know there was a kind of a point of emphasis this offseason. We haven't played a football game since 2019. And I know everyone was kind of pinpointing that secondary as one area we definitely need to improve in. And Doug, you played DB in high school. You're a receiver by trade, but you also know something about that defensive backfield, right?
Definitely. Defender by heart, receiver by trade. That's an area I'm excited about, man. Coach Howard, he's done a great job with those guys on the back end. That's an area we've always had talent in. We've always been able to put a good scheme together. Those guys have played well over the stretch. We've been able to plug guys in year and year out. So I'm excited about what those guys have back there this year. We got some size. We got some athletic ability. We're going to be able to challenge guys at the line of scrimmage, make some plays on the back end. And I think we're going to take our defense to the next level.
And Craig, I don't want to steal any of your thunder here. I want people to go to the site and read the article. But just quickly, can you give me a couple of names that guys should be looking out for? I know we lost Mac McCain. Unfortunately, he left school early and went to the NFL, and he's actually fighting for his life now. He's in the Denver Broncos camp, and I think last time I checked,
that's what Mac does. Shout out Mac McCain. I gotta shout out Mac McCain and the McCain family, man. Hey, do your thing, Mac.
Well, like he bet on himself, and right now his bet is still paying off because he's still fighting. I know he got slowed down a little bit with a hamstring injury a couple weeks ago, I think the 85 man cuts came through, and he was still on the roster as of this week. So when you got a fighting chance. But who do you think is going to take over his spot? Because that's a big hole to fill in that secondary.
Well, yeah. Anytime you lose a player like McCain, it's you start scratching your head trying to figure out what's going to happen. But A&T was fortunate in that they brought in a kid that might make you forget about Mac when you see him play. And I'm serious when I say this. Dwayne Crossan is a 6 foot to 200 pound corner. That's NFL caliber size. He comes to us from not Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech. Right. Transfer. We got him in. Really got him in year before last, before COVID hit, and he has torn it up in both in spring practice and into the fall drill. So there's, I'd hate to say it, but we might be an upgrade there.
Oh man, you saying some stuff down, Craig. So, hey, what about my man? What about my man Amir McNeil? I love that guy. I love the way he fights. I remember he was in Durham last year at the Duke game with a cast on his hand, and he was still out there knocking passes down.
It's one of the toughest individuals I ever seen on a football field as far as A&T is concerned. This kid plays through injuries, all kinds of adversity, and he comes to play, every game, every week. Can't say enough about it. And he's with those two guys at corner, with Crossan and McNeil at corner, we're solid. And we got 3 or 4 good young kids in backing them up. So we're solid at the cornerback.
Yeah, hey, Scotland County's been good to us. Shout out to the Scotland County.
Yes, definitely. Hey,
good talent there.
And if I'm correct, Crossan is actually a local guy. He's from Dudley, right?
Yeah. Dudley High School.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. So that's awesome. Like I said, everybody go to the website right now. You'll see that 2021 preview right up there on the homepage, and you can find all about Crossan and McNeil and all those other guys in the secondary. Unfortunately, I still have a little bit of, I'm kind of squeamish a little bit because last time we saw these guys play, it was a Celebration Bowl, and Doug, you were probably there front and center in Atlanta. When we played Alcorn State, we scored 64 points, but we kind of gave up a lot of points too. And
we scored a lot. We scored a lot and gave up more than we wanted to, man. But overall, we came out with the win. We got some things to clean up, and we have plenty of time to do it during this COVID stretch. So I'm looking forward to what these guys are going to put together this year, man. Look out for that group, those guys on the back end. I think we're going to see something special this year.
Gotcha. Well, you know what, guys? I don't want to keep everybody too long, but since I have you here, let me pick your brain on a couple of trending topics that everyone was talking about since the last time we played football. I guess one of the biggest stories that came out was the announcement that A&T was moving conferences from the MEAC to the Big South. And I'm telling you, if you ever was on our message board, our fan forum during this period, it was pandemonium. People were losing their minds. Old school
yes,
Aggie, old school Aggie, one of our most popular posters. Shout out to him. He did not take the news well. He did not take it lying down. I think he's still fighting a good fight in his mind. He has not accepted that move. But Doug, you tell me, you are a former MEAC champ. You won you were the A&T wide receiver in 2003 when you guys won the MEAC championship. I think it was Coach Small's first year.
Yes, sir.
He replaced Bill Hayes. He had a rough patch in 2002. He came in the next year and turned things around. You won a MEAC championship. You have a ring probably still somewhere in your house. And to hear that after all that you accomplished and with the MEAC and all that, now we were leaving. How did that sit with you?
Bittersweet, man. It was a bittersweet moment and a stretch of time to hear that we were going to transition out of the MEAC to the Big South. I guess change is inevitable, and it's just one of those things that, with the trajectory that we're having and the success that the university is having behind Chancellor Martin and those guys, Mr. Hilton over there in the athletics department, we're making some moves. The school is growing, every day. And you look on TV or on ESPN, bottom line anywhere, and we're popping up a new Aggie and a new sport. So, this is nothing new for us. This is what Aggies do. This is what we knew who we are, things we've been doing for years, but now we're on that national spotlight and we're climbing, and I just think this is the next step to ultimately heading in the direction that we want to go to. And I think folks will get on board. It's tough for me to take. Like I said, I bleed blue and gold. I am an MEAC baby, for life. Love to see some of those championships and athletes compete in that league for years. But this is something that I think fans will get behind and get excited about once you roll that football out there and those guys start playing ball and we get back to doing chicken, as Coach says. We get back to doing chicken, and winner takes care of everything.
So you handled it pretty good. You were mature about it. Let me ask you this: how did your sister handle it? Because look,
Listen.
People don't know Doug's sister's Tiffany Brown. She's actually the longtime director of the Golden Light, and
Listen.
so they were the sweethearts of the MEAC. That was their actual brand. So what did Tiffany say about all this?
Well, to her credit, she came along quicker than my parents did. My mom, hey man, I don't know that she's ready. She's still not ready. But they're an innovative bunch. She's innovative, so I'm sure they'll find a way to introduce themselves into the Big South. Shout out Dr. Ruff and the rest of the Blue and Gold Marching Machine. But that's part of what we do. Every year is something new for us. So Aggies do. We'll make it happen. I do want to say, Big South better get ready. We're giving you the warning now. You see the shirt. You better give them the warning now. And speaking of shirt, I need some new shirts. And I need some new hats. So Thriller, send me that 1891. Guys, if you got some merch, send it to me. See to my tag. I need some merch. We'll put you on.
Gotcha. All right, Craig. So let me know. So you are the elder statesman in this room right now.
Yeah.
Where were you at? Right. Do you remember the time? Do you remember the actual moment when you heard the news? And I think the story was broke by our longtime Greensboro News and Record beat writer Jeff Mills, one of the best writers this town's ever known. I think he broke the story. But what were you doing when you heard the news that A&T was going to the Big South?
Well, I had got a little tip off of it the day before that something was brewing, and I had a feeling that was going to be the case. I was having lunch, and I got the news, but I wasn't really surprised. I wasn't surprised in the least that A&T made the move to the Big South. It had been in the works. Discussions had been going on for probably a couple of years prior to, and I think what caught most people off guard was that it wasn't broadcast. There wasn't any leaks, and I think that was probably the smart thing to do, given the massive decision that had to be made to leave the MEAC. 50 years is a long time for a conference affiliation, and but it did not surprise me. It really did not surprise me then.
Right. And guys, I've been outspoken about my views on the MEAC the last couple, decades, really. I've never been a fan. I've never been a fan of the actual leadership that the MEAC presented. I thought that they were slow to innovate, And I felt like as Aggies, we were the power brokers in the situation. Even with FAMU and everybody else who's still there, I felt like we should have kind of imposed our will more, but instead we kind of followed their lead, and I think that lead led us, not to water. And you look back, and since 2019, we had the #1 flagship program in football, and we haven't played a game. We were waiting on them to do stuff, and the spring football fiasco and all that kind of stuff, and so it's bittersweet for me too. Like you guys, I appreciate the culture and the memories, but I also think that this is a new day, and you see that with the website now. You see that with the energy, with the fan base, the school's growing exponentially. So I do think that Chancellor Martin and our athletic director Earl Hilton, I think they made a wise decision.
Yeah, I tend to agree. A&T and the MEC started growing apart probably 5 or 6 years ago. There was a change in emphasis as to what A&T really wanted to do with its athletic department versus that of the MEC. And I think the MEC had become comfortable with its role and its tie-in with the SWAC and the Celebration Bowl. And I think A&T was, after winning that thing, basically 4 out of 5, and the last 3 in a row, we were looking to do something else. This university is growing at an incredible rate, and the emphasis now is to become a national brand and become a FCS football power. I think the MEAC is locked into their niche to be the headline HBCU sports and to showcase it along with the SWAC, and I find nothing wrong with that, but that's not enough. Given what the economic situation is in Division I sports, and given the size of this university and the aspirations that this university has, it simply wasn't enough. That, coupled with the management problems that you highlighted,
right?
It was inevitable that A&T would seek other avenues, and they did.
Yeah, so I got to credit you for being way more diplomatic than I am, because
that comes from a long line of dealing with attorneys all the time.
Gotcha. One more thing before I let you guys go. The other elephant in the room is, of course, there's a global pandemic we're in the middle of still. Hopefully, all you guys have been able to sidestep this deal, and hopefully all your families have been safe. I know it affected our football program, our coaches, and even our players have tested positive. And this is terrible. I think that Delta variant is still doing havoc. How do you guys feel that this whole pandemic, since we're in still uncharted waters, how will it affect this upcoming football season?
I can tell you point blank, the Big South is going to play football this fall, regardless, COVID or no COVID, they're going to play. I can only hope that our players, and I understand by not taking the necessary precautions. I'm not advocating that they take the vaccine, although I would strongly recommend it.
I'm advocating that they take the vaccine.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that they're going to have to decide individually. But I will say this: if we have to cancel a game because we've got an outbreak of COVID, it's going to be an automatic forfeiture this year in the Big South Conference. You can destroy your season by not doing what you need to do. You understand what you need to do. If you're taking the vaccine, that's fine. But if you're not going to take that vaccine, you're putting your teammates at risk. You're putting your loved ones at risk. You're putting everything that you put in all these hours for in the off season can literally go down the drain.
Hey, so Doug, you were recruited by Bill Hayes.
Yes.
Well, if Wild Bill was a coach right now, and this is a pandemic, and there was a choice that you guys had to have a vaccine or not, what would be the percentage of your roster that got
wait, before we get to percentages, let me tell you, with Coach Wild Bill Hayes, there weren't a lot of choices. Okay, so whatever coach's ideas were on vaccinations or vaccines at that point, we probably would have taken on that same stance. But on a serious note, you know, Coach would have had a serious talk with us, and I'm sure he would have left it up to the guys to make, you know, some sort of decision. But he definitely would have highlighted the importance of the team, family, the safety aspect, and you know, just kind of making the information available to the players so that they can make wise decisions. And I know our staff is doing the same thing. I know that we're encouraging our kids to be safe. Personally, I could not imagine being a college student, let alone a football player, between 18 and 22, somewhere in there, trying to navigate a college campus while socially distancing and trying not to pick up anything. That's a tough deal. You know, that's a tough deal. I know my hearts are with the students, my hearts are with our fans, everyone involved on campus. I'm praying that everybody does the right thing and does what's best for them. But personally, and maybe selfishly, I hope that everyone gets vaccinated and as safe as possible so that we can get back to enjoying Aggie football the way we like to inside of Truist Stadium, better known and affectionately known as Aggie Stadium, AKA the Doghouse, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I tell you. But so, guys, I'm just glad that you guys are joining me here. This is going to be fun. I love the energy of this group, and we got a lot of cool ideas. But I do want to remind the fans, we don't know what the hell we're doing. You know, we are fun, just, man. Hey,
that's obvious.
We're trying to figure this thing out as we go along. We're new to this YouTube podcast game, but trust me, you know, I consider myself one of the 5 smartest people in the world. You heard me say that before. So if you give me a chance, I'm gonna figure it out. I got 2 great guys, very knowledgeable people on my side with Craig and Doug. Thank you again for joining us, and keep checking the site every week. We're going to try to have these shows running out regularly or every week now. Also, let's go through the website and see all the cool stuff we got planned. Until next time, for Craig Turner and Doug Brown, I am Samaj Marsh. This is BlueDeathEye.com, and we'll see you again. Peace.
Peace. Mask up, Aggies.
Peace.